Miracle worker, come and do a miracle, miracle today. Come and do a miracle today. Let me changer, destiny changer. Come and change destinies today. Come and change destinies today. Yahweh, your name is Yahweh. You are the miracle working God. Your name is Yahweh. Yahweh, your name is Yahweh. You are the miracle working God. Your name is Yahweh. Adon Skies 21. Good evening. Nice to have you here today. All right. Good evening, everyone. Nice to have you here today. How has been your day? So nice to have you here even today. I'm trusting God that we're going to have another very inspiring and powerful session on today's Heart to Heart with Kola Olugbodi. Of course, like we can remember, last week we had Mrs. Ayodeji Megbope in our midst, and her testimony was so amazing. Her testimony was so powerful and also very inspiring. The feedbacks that I've received from last Thursday has been so amazing. It's really been so amazing, and it only shows how God can work in the life of any of His children that put his or her trust in Him. It's all about God. Sincerely speaking, I kept on going through a testimony all through this 1 week, and it's my summary of the whole thing is that this only could have been God, and indeed it has been God. Of course, last week, can everybody hear me very well? Let me be sure. All right, thank you. All right, okay. Somebody said no volume, so I want to be sure you can all hear me very well. All right, so today, like we promised last week that we'll try and get Pastor Femi Megbope, the wonderful husband of our sister Ayodeji Megbope, that would really love to hear him talk. All through last week, Sister Ayo could hardly go any 5-10 minutes without saying something so good about Pastor Femi. Oh, he's so supportive. He's so nice. He will always tell me, calm me down and everything. And I really so much thank God that Pastor Femi agreed to feature today. I'm so much elated. So I will go straight into the show. I'm not going to be the only one that will be asking the questions today. Two of my very good friends will be joining me this evening lively. So I'm inviting my friends to join me now, and Pastor Femi also will be joining me. All right, fine. Pastor Femi, so nice to have you here this evening. How are you, sir?
Very well, thank you, sir. And you?
Thank you so very much for accepting to be on the show tonight. And many actually were so eager to have you on today, and I'm trusting God that He will actually use you to settle a lot of things in the hearts of a lot of people that have been listening to you tonight by God's grace. So today, I have two of my very good friends with me. Ladies first, Dr. Mrs. Funke Oyineye. She's a very darling sister, a friend that sticks more than a brother, like the Bible would say. So, Sister Funke, so nice to have you here. And then my very good brother, Afolabi Onobobo. Nice to have you, Afo. Thank you so much. All right, so we'll all be doing the show together tonight. Pastor Femi, I will start by asking you to tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Pastor Femi?
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for having me on tonight. My name is Femi Megbope. I'm a pastor by calling. I'm an engineer by qualification, married for 28 years. I was born again in 1991. So I've been born again for 30 years now, to the glory of God. Husband of one, father of two children. And I pastor the Fountain of Life Church in Olugbodi.
Oh, all right. Nice to know that. Just as way of introduction also, how did you and Ayodeji, how did you meet?
Well, we're family friends, actually.
Okay.
We grew up together. And I was in England, she was here in Nigeria. So during the holidays, when I come home, we'll go to parties together as friends. And I returned to Nigeria finally in 1990. And then the friendship took a different turn then. So that's just it. We're family friends for years.
Wow. So family friends that became friends and then ended up as one and one.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I know what many people are so eager to hear you talk about. Are those things that your wife mentioned? I was reading the book Lifted at the Gate, and Ayon in the book was mentioning she spoke about a scenario when she started the moi business, and that she would need to wake up 4 a.m., have a quiet time, and by 5 she's already working on the beans, and by 5:30 both of you will walk to the grinder, the person that's going to grind the beans. I mean, and it's almost every day that you do this. How do you do it?
How did I do it? It's the grace of God.
No, not only the how did it happen that you became a very strong, supportive system to your wife? You know, your shoulders were always there for her to just fall in. If she wants to cry, she can cry. You were the best cheerleader. You always encouraging her. Baby, go on. You can do it. How did this happen? Did you learn it from somewhere?
Well, the foundation was laid during our courtship period, actually. We courted for just about 2 years.
Okay.
And in that time, we did a lot of talking. Okay. A lot of talking about the future, the kind of life we wanted to live, the children, everything, ministry, Christian life. We spoke about everything. So at that point, we got to know each other's strengths, got to know each other's weaknesses, we got to know each other's limits, and we got to know when we are support to each other. So when the Mumbai thing started, I had committed myself from the onset to be of great support to her in whatever she chose to do. I believe so much in her, still do. And I said, whatever she chose to do, I'll be of support to her wholeheartedly. So waking up early in the morning in those days to wash the beans, to bone the fish. I don't like fish, but I had to do it for the sake of love and support. I mean, to unwrap the Maggie cubes, break everything, shell the eggs, slice the eggs. It was just my own way of saying, I support you all the way. You're not alone in this. You succeed together. You fail, we fail together. But I know you won't fail. So I'll be the wind in your sails. You just keep going. I'll be of support to you in any way I could.
Wow. Wow. You know, before I hand over to my friends, there was one incident that the beans bucket just fell off her hand and the whole bean turned over on the ground, and she just lost it and said, please take us through what happened that day.
But that day, we didn't have light all night. We did not have light all night. So she woke up, I think around 4, to wash the beans. And as she finished washing the beans, she said, let us go and grind the beans. So as she picked up the bucket, the handle fell off.
Wow.
The beans and the water, everything just went on the carpet. I just said, I saw her eyes. She was about to cry. I said, you just go inside. Let me sort this out. When I'm ready, I will call you. It was, I saw the pain in her eyes. She woke up early, bent over the beans to wash, and then this happened. I just said, no, I can't leave her to do this. Let me go through the pains of sorting out the nest, so to speak. And God helped us. We cleared up in good time. We still met up with the grinder, and that day went well. Production was not late.
Yeah. All right, Sister Funke, I want to hand over to you.
Good evening.
Sorry, there is a phone very close to one of us. It's interfering with what you're saying, so somebody needs to move away from where you are. Okay. All right.
Is it better?
It's not better yet.
Yes,
somebody needs to. There's another phone interfering with you, either you or one of us. But it's not me.
I'm alone here.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Now, as we're talking, I'm the mother of. What goes on in the kitchen before. My mind is, who is the wonderful mother? Like you like to talk to us about that. Girl child, the passion for faith. Waking up more than everything. I like to. I'm sure it has something to do with training.
I didn't hear her clearly.
Sorry, did you hear her?
No, I didn't.
All right. Staff, there are some interferences around you. Let's. I think it's from that. All right, Afolabi, take over. Let's know where they.
Okay. Good evening, sir.
How are you, sir?
Yeah, good to see you today. I'm so happy. I was asking myself the first question I'm going to throw at you. I'm like, okay, let me just take a cool. I always like to ask my question from the laity angle of it. Now, you're a pastor, and because I love a lot of people who relate to what we do or what I do personally. Can you hear me clearly, sir?
Yes, very clear.
The interference is still there.
It's not from your
Can
you hear me, sir?
Can hear you better now.
Yeah.
All right. Are we okay now?
Okay. Let's try again, sir.
Okay, because I don't have any other device here with me than the phone. That's all. Except for my little ones playing around here.
So what's the question again, sir?
Okay, now my question is, like I said, I'm just trying to lay background to the question I wanted to ask. That because I know that there are a lot of people that might be watching or that might listen to the interview later on, that they are not pastors, they're just normal Christians, or some of them might not even be Christians actually, but they're just interested in the program and they want to monitor the questions that we ask you. Now, if you were not to be a pastor, how would you have handled what she said she wanted to start up with? How would you have handled her disposition to a new step that she wanted to do in life?
Well, before I'm a pastor, I'm a Christian.
Okay.
I'm also a man. And I'm me across board. Whether as Femi the gentleman, in quotes, whether Femi the father, Femi the pastor, Femi the friend, and me. So being a pastor does not affect how I treated her, and I still treat her. I treat her as my wife.
Okay.
And as a wife, she deserves my total support in every way, pastor or no pastor. She deserves, and she still does, my support wholeheartedly. That's, I mean, God gave her to me as a wife, not as a pastor's wife, as Femi's wife. So that is my responsibility to take care of her and support her to the fullest.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, let me take a little bit back. From what you said, and from a couple of things I've heard about her, I know that she didn't have it smooth growing up. Had a lot of challenges, especially academically, and I could resonate with her because something like that happened to me also while growing up. You know, when all your siblings are doing well academically, they are bringing up straight A's, and of course you're the only one that has to write your exams a couple of times like that. Now, did that not affect your decision when you wanted to start your relationship with her?
No, it didn't. It didn't in any way. I saw a pretty lady. I saw a happy lady. I saw a lady I desired. I saw a lady God brought my way. What it? That's half of who she is. So, and as time went on, like I said, during the courtship, we spoke a lot. We spoke about everything. Nothing was hidden. Everything. She laid it bare, and I laid mine bare. And I said, well, this is who you are. This is who I am. God knows why he brought you to me. So that is the past. Everybody has a history. That is the past. And the past should not define the future unless you allow it. Yes, these things happen, but that is the past. So let's walk our way from here onwards. where I can be of help to you, I'll be of help. Regarding the academic challenges, like I said earlier, I spent quite some time in England. I mean, I went to Corona School here, from primary school. Then from there, I spent 2 years in Siemens Grammar School, and I went abroad. Came back in 1990. So I was exposed. And I mean, I read to a particular level. So her coming into my life, I saw the shortcomings. And I said, this is the woman I love. If she stays here, it's to our detriment. So it is my duty as a husband to bring her to the level where she'll be comfortable being where I am, so to speak. She'll be happy floating at the same level as I am, and I will not be ashamed of bringing her to that level. Of course, there were times when some things will happen. She will withdraw into her shell. I say, hey, come out of it, girl. This is what it should be. And she was willing to learn, and she's still willing to learn. I have 4 sisters.
Sorry, before you go into the story of your 4 sisters, I was not asking you the question of that process of you bringing her up to the pedestal you would have loved her to be. How challenging was it for you as a man? You know, because when you're up there and the gap is a little bit, I wouldn't know, maybe a little bit wide. How difficult was it for you? I don't want to believe you had it smooth, just like that.
It wasn't smooth initially, because I mean, correcting somebody that is quite matured is difficult. So as much as I've been speaking on her, I had to ask God for wisdom on how to approach the matter. If something happened now, I may not just address it now. I'll look for an opportune time to bring it up when we're just and we'll just talk jokingly. And she will pick the lesson without being offended. And she was willing to learn. Initially, it was like, you're picking on me. I said, I'm not picking on you. We're just trying to learn some things here. That was the challenge, but God helped us to blend. She was willing to learn, really willing to learn, and she's still learning.
All right, you're going to
Yes. I have 4 powerful sisters. And I tell people, if you want to look for their trouble, fight me. I'll just step back and they will take the fight on my behalf. So when she came into my life, it was like, well, I mean, like I said, we've been family friends. But when she now came into my life, the dynamics changed. Who is this coming to take our brother? So whenever she says something wrong, they look at each other in one funny way, and she will feel a bit sad. And she was sometimes afraid, if that's the right word, to talk in their presence, in case she pronounced the word wrong. So, but with time, I stood there. I said, Ayo, talk. If you make a mistake, we'll correct you.
Wow.
And today, it's like they are #1 cheerleaders.
Wow.
It wasn't easy initially, but I believe my position helped a lot. It's not that I loved her, and I still do. It's not that I will protect her at whatever the cost may be, if it means fighting them, which I did a few times. And they just said, hey, well, this is our brother's wife. Let's embrace her. And today they support her. In fact, people think I'm the in-law, that she's the sister, that I'm the in-law. That's how close they are.
All right.
Yes, I'm really itching to hear about Whenever a man is to the mother, that man. Just tell us a little about your mom and your because that there's a that really, I'm telling you what you're doing. So you when she was having the interview, just preparing like sister. Just get the point. And in fact, show your first name. And in fact, what I said is the man is actually making it power. And when we're talking about empowerment, we're talking about feel our own life, our own purpose, our own life. The realization of the fact that you are bringing in is a major one. The way in-laws, especially the female in-laws, they have to the wife. And very, very important. But what you have done is so great. So eventually you consider the family protected her and everybody protected. That is your child will touch you. I am looking for that because I think that's thank you.
Well, the line was breaking, but I picked some things. I think you mentioned my mom. Am I right? You mentioned my mom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. My mom
And your training,
and my baby,
training,
my
upbringing.
training. Okay. My mom, thank God for her life. She passed on 30 years ago. And
Wow.
I'm the only son. She had 4 daughters. I'm the only son she had. I have other siblings. I have 3 other brothers. And she was a gentle woman. And she always told me, Femi, Toja was sisters. You are their father. Toja was sisters.
That's the word.
Even though I'm the second, she said, when you are the father, take care of your sisters. And she went through some challenges in life. And she said, you saw some things I went through. Ensure that you don't put your wife and shield your sisters from such as much as that. And whenever we bring our friends home, she embraced them as her own. Because she had taught us that, she had taught us the values in choosing good friends. And she believed that anybody we brought home qualified to come home. So she embraced them as her children, and she would advise them like she advises us. So we had that kind of open house. We are free to express our love, and we freely receive love, both from father and mother. And we're encouraged to share love amongst ourselves. We're encouraged to always stand as one. We may have our differences, but we are one and must speak as one. So, when just before I came back from England, my wife now used to come home to see my sisters. So my mom will call her, sit her down, and talk to her like a daughter. You're starting work. Watch out for this, watch out for that. Plan your future. Don't make this mistake. She really counseled her like a daughter. Not knowing that she was polishing her for me. That's the kind of person she was. So my mom played a great role, I believe, in making her who she is today without knowing what she was doing. And we saw, that was her lifestyle. She sees people, she embraces them, and she loves them. She always sees the good in people. No matter how bad you are, she will see the good in you and bring out the good in you. That is what we saw her do, and that's what we try to do. So when Ayo mentioned her issues, so to speak, I said, okay, that's that. But behind all that, there's good in you. Let us embrace the good and elevate the good. We thank God for what we have today. So my mom showed us how to love. I put it that way. She was there for us. She was a civil servant. She retired early. After close of work every day, she'll come home, check her homework, and we will gist. At least an hour gisting together. That bond was there. That bond was there. So, and that is what we, all of us till today, still practice, and God is helping us. Even the house helps that came to the house then, they didn't go empty. They must learn a trade. Either hairdressing or sewing, you must learn something. You must leave the house empowered. Don't just come and serve. You've come here because of some circumstances. But beyond all that, you're still a human. So let us add to you. So when you meet somebody in life, and the testimonies of people that pass through the house that become people today. So that is what that is one of our guiding principles in life.
All right, thank you so much. As we were talking, when we're talking about the faith that was in the grandmother, was so I knew that that's right. I can see the greater, empowered woman there. Who empowered life. It's actually a generational thing. I like to tell the man or your all want to encourage ourselves. We all want to empower. Everybody has something in you or her. Don't make it difficult. You need your help and you need my help. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Kola?
All right, thank you. Okay, somebody told me, said, do you know that some husbands don't like their wives rising above them in life? That once the wives seem to be doing well and succeeding and moving on in life, some husbands start getting intimidated. I want you to talk about that, Pastor Femi. Number one, were you at any point intimidated by Sister Yours' success in life? And then help me talk about that. So husbands always get intimidated. I actually think the interference is from you, Pastor Femi.
Okay. Said I've never been and never will be intimidated by her success.
Hallelujah.
With the grace of God, I am secure as a man. But I'm complete in Christ.
Hallelujah.
I'm secured in myself and secured in my place and secured in my space. Regarding Ayo's success, I'll look at it from this angle. I believe God gave me Ayo as a project. Jesus said the church is his bride and he is the husband, the groom. So Jesus is working on the church constantly to present to himself a glorious church, not having spot, wrinkle, and without blemish. That means Jesus is working on the church from a raw state, going through a process to present a better church, a better bride to himself. So I see Ayo as a project that God gave me to work on his behalf. That is why I said I'm secured in my place. I have found my place. And my place is to help her to be all that God wants her to be. I mean, there's some things I have done to support and to encourage that some men may find difficult to do. Your wife's success should not intimidate you. Because you're the head who owns her, so to speak. She's yours. So her success is your success. So you're helping her to be all that God has ordained her to be is a plus for you before God. So you're making her anything less is otherwise. So God knows why he gave you to her, or why she gave her to you, to make her a better person for him. So if we look at things in that perspective, a lot of men will be secured in their place because God knows that you're capable of making something out of this person, this woman that he brought to you. That is why he gave her to you. God could have given her to somebody else, but God chose to give her to you because he knows that you have all it takes to make her the best. I mean, there are times I played driver. I will drive out of our town. You have deliveries, load the car, let's go. Wow. There were times we'll park the car, I will take a bike, carry moi, and deliver. Man must succeed. She's my project. God gave her to me. So anything short of that, I have failed in my assignment. Not only as a husband, but as a child of God. Because everything that comes our way, God knows about it. God is a plan. God is a God of plan, purpose, and objectivity. So if God brings a wife your way that needs your help, my brother, go all the way. Don't feel anyhow. Our society is changing. Let me put it that way. Where the woman's success intimidates the man, but it shouldn't be. When she comes back home, what does she say equivalent to? It's you. So she can be everything out there. But when she comes home, you're the Lord. So if you don't support your wife as a man, please, I beseech you, support her. Because your wife's happiness is your happiness.
That's true.
If she's not happy, the home will not be at peace. That's the truth. But when she's happy and she knows that you're supporting her, not only in material things, place of prayers, emotionally, you're being there for her. I mean, you get the best out of her. You get the best out of her. So let men support it. It doesn't take anything out of us. People ask me, but don't you feel? I said, don't feel anyhow. And me, God made me the way I am, knowing that I'll be happy. I'll be happiest being like this. Anything otherwise is looking for trouble. And there are times we've had issues. I mean, I say issues, I mean, there are times where we go through some, can I put it, the normal home affairs.
Charismatic discussions.
Exactly. But this must not interrupt God's plan for our lives. We are on a mission. So how we feel about some things should not interrupt God's agenda. Because God has raised you, Ayo, as a voice to people. It is my duty to keep you going and to make it easy for you, not hard for you. So I'm happy, I'm secured.
Sorry, let me join this to what you just said. I know some believe that no, the wife can't have any vision aside from the husband's vision. So if the wife is going to pursue any vision in life, even if she had any ambition, she put that aside and then only pursue the husband's vision. For instance, Pastor Femi, you are a full-time pastor. So, sister is not supposed to have no leftover no moi, no nothing. She should be a full-time
Yeah.
pastor, Mrs. along with you. She run your vision. I want you to talk about that. I hope you heard me.
I heard you.
All right, Pastor.
You know, God made us as individuals, and God has a plan for each and every one of us. And God brings us together for the fulfillment of his plan. God knows that I have what it takes to make Ayo succeed, and vice versa. I've been a full-time pastor since year 2000, 21 years now. And when I went into ministry, she was not in full support initially, but eventually she came round. And when she had this vision of no leftovers, God did not give it to me. God gave it to her. And in the place of prayers, I was fully convinced that this is God's plan. So I followed. I will not be a person to hinder God's plan. I mean, there are some issues or some ideas she has raised in the past, business-wise. And I said, look, Ayo, have you considered it this way? I'm not saying it's not good, but have you considered it this way? She will pause, think about it, and then we'll look at it again. But I won't hinder what God has put in her, because I don't have what it takes to bring it to pass. Neither has she got what it takes to bring to pass my own ministry. So we support each other in that way. God has made us as individuals, and we're to support each other in the fulfillment of that plan. Nobody can do it all. And I said this with caution. I believe the reason why some men may want to put their wives in subjection, I said that loosely now, maybe because of insecurity. If the wife does more than me, then she'll be Lord over me. I won't take it. So let me put her in subjection where I have power over her. Is that God's desire? When God created man, God gave man dominion over other things created, but not over fellow man.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
It's clear in scripture. So anybody can put another person under is working against the scriptures. So we're here to encourage ourselves and to support ourselves. If we don't understand the plan or the vision, let's go to God in prayers and let God make it clear. But let's not be a hindrance to what each other wants to do.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. In other words, what she's doing at this moment, it's actually what you are also doing, because what she's doing is what you are doing. What you are doing is what she's doing. It's nothing is contradicting, and we are one for all, so to speak. Wow, I love the way you said that. Stafunke, you are smiling. You want to say something?
Actually, I'm looking at a man who really knows the heart of God. As perhaps remember the scripture says that just remember that this village is always. So I see Pastor Megbope actually handling his wife as always. I just want to say that I pray that all our men will see in that way, because all is responsible. He's not laying emphasis on how God wants and to look at the wife. Actually, but my wife is married. God gave her, and I kept looking at that, and that's just the baseline for it. And maybe I would just like to add, I don't know if you don't mind. We were talking about, you talked about your mom.
Yeah.
You like to say just one or two things about your dad. I don't know how long, whether he's still around or he has gone. Were you able to see anything? Because you are a man. But that could be a know there's something in it.
My dad, God bless his heart, he passed on 3 years ago at the age of 80. My dad enjoyed life. My dad could give his eye for the next person. My dad was selfless. And sometimes his selflessness got me into trouble. And the way we were brought up, my dad's side now, whatever we chose to do, when Ayo started the moi business, my dad, till he passed on, was, I said, her number one fan apart from me. He called her Yoni Moi Moi. He was always encouraging and always supporting. I mean, there are times, my dad retired about 20 years ago. Sometimes you just put some money in your back to go business. I won't I'll find out. That's the kind of person he was, and that's kind of the home we grew up in, where we saw support from both sides. And my dad was always proud of us. Even when we failed, he was proud of us. So we were always, what's the word? We had our backs covered on both sides. Mother and father, our backs were covered. Dad may not have been there always, but he played his part. Whenever he had time for us growing up, it was wonderful. But he was always supportive till the end. Till the end. When Ayo went to the White House, in fact, my dad his smile was from ear to ear. My brother went to the White House. He told as many people as cared to listen. He loved all of us. Even our spouses, he loved us. So even his grandchildren called him their best friend. Wow. That was the kind of person he was. Free with everybody, free with the high, free with the low. With the vulcanizer, he had time. With the ministers, he had time. So that has also helped us. We don't see class in anybody. We see you for who you are. We see you for who you are. So you're trying to bring class into the issue. You're looking for trouble. And they will tell us, if not for the grace of God, you could be on the other side. So never look down on anybody. When he found out about Ayo's challenges earlier in life, he was wondering how I would handle it. But he saw the way I handled it, and he was happy that, look, don't because of this push her away. There's good in her. And he was there. He was there, selfless and loving. I guess I also took some part of him that I took from my mother.
So what a balance life. I know.
You actually too.
Sorry, sir.
Okay.
And my dad always supported my mother. When she retired from civil service, she said she went to go to poultry. He set her up. Bought the cage, the eggs, everything. Whatever she wanted to do, he supported her. So that we saw in them, and hey, who are we?
So you are actually a true bond of the two of them in one.
I believe so.
It's really so obvious. So obvious. One curious thing. When Sister Ayo started the Moi thing, did you see a vision ahead that, well, especially you personally, did anything cross your mind that this thing was going to really turn to something else that will bring out to limelight? Did it cross your mind?
It didn't. All I wanted was a happy wife. All I wanted was a happy wife. Day one till now, I don't ask about our finances in business.
Wow.
I don't. If she's unhappy, what is the issue? If I can be of help, I'll be of help. All I want is a happy wife. And I never saw the future. But I know that by making her happy and keeping her happy is giving her strength to go on. I mean, I'll give this example. When the business started, I gave her 1,000 naira, which everybody knows. And as she was building the business, I just saw a happy wife. And then in the year 2012, we had our first family vacation. And we're wondering where the funds will come from. Do you know what she said? She said, Femi, don't worry. The business will sponsor this vacation. Wow. I said, how much do you have? She said, don't worry. She said, don't worry. The business will sponsor this vacation. They just bring this towards a ticket. Every other thing, the business will sponsor. So I said, wow, this is the result of having a happy wife. If I was putting my nose in her daily affairs, I would disturb her. I will not fulfill my own destiny. So do yours, I do mine, we're happy, we're happy. If you need my support, let me know. That's it. All I want and still want is a happy wife. And thank God I have one.
So when all the golden mansards and the White House things are playing out, tell us what was going on inside of you. Try to animate what was going on inside of you.
Okay, let me start with that speech that she gave at the Go Hotel when the Goldman Sachs people came. When she was told she was going to give a speech, I saw fear in her eyes. I said, Ayo, you can do this. I know you can do it. She said, Ayo, I know you can do it. I said, as you're talking, just keep your eyes fixed on me in the crowd. I'll be affirming you, and it was like I was the only one in that audience that night. And from that moment, things changed.
Wow.
Things changed. When they came to the house the following day, I said, Ayo, don't panic. Everything will go well. So when the foreign trip started, I said, well, she deserves it because she has worked for it. She has proven herself worthy of this. So go, girl. I don't have to be there. Your being there is me being there. So go. Go and fly. Go as high as you want. I'll be the wind in your sails. Don't look back. Your back is covered. So I think in 2014, we went to the US together to New York. And from there, she went to the White House. I think this first time. And she said, Femi, I'm going to the White House. But you can't go. I said, I'm not bothered. You go. When you get there, you mention my name. Go. It's your platform. I don't have to be there with you. It's your platform. Now being there will draw attention away from you. It is your platform. So go and showcase God. Your back is covered. You wait this go today. That is why I don't have to be seen. I don't have to be known. You just go, keep flying. As long as you're there, I'm happy.
And then anywhere she goes, we always say Mrs. Megbope.
Exactly.
I know this is, if she's missing, then there's one Mr. Megbope somewhere.
Yeah.
Wow. Afolabi, any last question from you?
Okay, maybe I should put it this way. What if the business didn't work out, the way it went, as we all seen it now, what would have been your disposition? And okay, let me just stay with you, not even her right now. What would have been your body language? Because I believe some people are still in their process right now that will watch this interview. They've tried this and tried, and there is a particular project maybe they did that they felt this one must fly, and it didn't fly. So in a situation like that, what would you have done?
What would I have done? And I said, well done, girl, you tried.
Oh.
You tried. Because I'm impressed. She had done other businesses. She has sold very used clothes before. She has sold sweets and biscuits in church before. She has sold fine yoga before. She had gone to market for people before. And they jacked up people to eat at home. So she has done various things before now that didn't work. I said, well, at least you've tried. So if this one didn't work, you tried. But you can see that we're still on and getting better. So she's still trying.
Wow. No, somebody asked the question. Somebody said, have you ever had any problem with issue of money between the two of you before? Has the issue of money ever been a problem or an issue between the two of you?
It hasn't. Because remember our caution days, like I said, we spoke about everything. Everything, nothing was hidden. I knew how much she was earning then. I was doing business. She knew how much I had. She knew where money would come in. She knew how much money came in. And she knew how I would spend the money. I didn't bother to ask her how she spent her money. But she would tell me, I spent it on this. So money hadn't been an issue. Whenever we had, in those days, whenever we had cash, it was put in the wardrobe. If you need, you go and take. It's about nothing on here. Because we had that belief in each other, that we had the best interest of each other at heart. So you won't spend foolishly, and I won't spend foolishly. So money was not, till now, money is not an, I mean, the days of millions we share, the days of 10 naira we share. So money has never been and never will be an issue by the grace of God. And I tell people that if you can keep money secrets from each other, then you can keep a lot more things from each other. If you're hiding money and keeping things, what else are you hiding? money is a true test.
That's a serious.
We don't have a joint account. We don't have a joint account. But we support each other when there's need. The days I need, Ayodeji, when you change in there, to give. The days she'll need, if I have, I mean, that's the way we are. Even with the children now, they're seeing the way things are. They're seeing how open we should be to each other, and they've seen the benefits of it. So that's an open house. Nothing is hidden. No door is locked. Some doors have keys. We never locked it. All we lock is the front door. So everything is open for everybody to see.
All right. Thank you so much. We've really run out of time. You know, I can see Sister Pastor Femi's sister. Please to have you around. As a parting shot, Pastor Femi, please. I know that there are some homes that they don't know what the call is. It's always hell Tension is always building. Please let me cancel some. And how can they attain peace in their home? Oneness, joy, happiness.
Now the Bible says, husbands should love the wives, and the wives should submit to their own husbands. And if the wife doesn't feel loved, she may not submit. And if the husband doesn't feel she's being submissive, he won't love. So that is the question of a lot of trouble in the homes. So the question is, do you understand each other's language? Speak each other's love language. I've counseled some men, and I said, Pastor, I give her money, I tell her I love her, I do this, but she says, Pastor, it doesn't show he loves me. So that means what the man is doing is not being effectively communicated to the wife. So they're speaking different languages, and it's being submissive in her own way, than seeing you as being submissive. If I'm making sense. So understand each other and be patient with each other. I mean, there are times till now, Ayo and I, we still have some discussions. Say, Ayo, the way you spoke the other time came across like this. And it could have caused trouble. Femi, the way you behaved the other time could have caused trouble. So please tell me what I did, so I can be better next time. Effective communication is key. Don't hide things from each other. If you're hurting, let your spouse know you're hurting, and let them know what they did. Don't keep a record of hurts. Settle it and let it go. A lot of people, I'll say men especially, can go back 10 years what the wife did, and should be shocked that was 10 years ago, and you're just telling me now. That's not healthy. It won't help the home.
Keeping record of wrongs.
Okay. It's not an easy thing to do, but let God help. If we're both to keep record of the wrong, where will it end? You didn't greet me this morning. The way you greeted me was somehow. There's always ground for conflict. And people, you can choose to avoid conflict, you can choose to resolve conflict, or you can choose to extend the conflict. It's a choice. And all these three things can be resolved by communication.
Hallelujah.
Sincere communication.
Wow. Thank you.
Thank God.
I'm watching the time. I don't want it to cut us off. So, thank you so very much, Pastor Femi. Now I've had you speak some reality, and that is today.
I don't know how you got me to do this, Ababa. I believe God.
It could only have been God. It could only have been God, because it was more like begging Pastor Femi to please come on this show. He said, my wife has said everything. What else do you want me to say? I said, okay, come and preach. And you've really delighted us. You've taught us a lot of things. You know, one of the reasons why we do this program, number one, is to encourage people, is to let people know that it's not working on your side, it's working on some people's side.
learn from people that things are working out well, and then you discover that there are principles to save the life. Follow the principles, and then they will work hard for you to save you. And then another reason we do this is because of youth. Our youth, many have been brought up in homes. Many have not found proper value system around. And I discovered that these days, even the youth don't even want to marry. You will tell them, you will say, I know when I've made my money, that's when I will marry. And it's just because of the distorted system and value system that we find ourselves. You know? So I have seen some of them here today. They already prayed that, oh God, give me a husband like Pastor Femi. You know, so that's like what we want to make happen for people to know that if it's not working for some people, if some marriages are breaking down, yours can't not necessarily have to be like that. And I know some have found that out today. So thank you so much, Pastor Femi. I really appreciate it. Sincerely, I don't take your coming to heart this night for granted. God bless you so much. And the Lord will continue to bless you.
Amen.
Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard. It has not crossed any mind what God will do. With your family, yourself, and Sister Ayo, that the Lord will perfect all that concerns you. And He will perfect all He desires to still do for the two of you and with the two of you. In Jesus' name. Sister Funke, thank you so much. I just needed some other visits here tonight. Maybe I would have been shy if we were not here. And thank you so much. God bless you. I know, Sister, you're somewhere in the background. Sister, you thank you so much for making this to happen. God bless you. And then my wife also is somewhere there. I know her heart is really blessing you. God bless you. Thank you, everyone that witnessed today's program. We are coming again next Thursday by His grace. God bless you all. Pastor Femi, God bless you once again.